Hello pre-calculus students. This is Dewey's Introduction to Calculator Skills you need for Chapter 3, Polynomial Functions. So we're working with the TI-83 or 84 calculator. Some of the keystrokes are slightly different depending on the model that you have. In particular today we're going to explore how to find the x-intercepts, which are the zeros, if you will, of the function, the y-intercept of the function, maximum and minimum values for local intervals of a particular function. You're going to find that second calculator button on your calculator is going to be your friend. Second calc, to calculate these values that you need. We're also going to explore how to better adjust our window using some new techniques. So exploring the window key to help you zoom in on the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts, and the maximum and minimum values effectively. We're going to start our demo with the function y equals x squared minus 16. And windows in standard mode, that's the -10 to +10 intervals for x and y on your Texas Instrument calculator. Moving over to our Waggett-Moo Texas Instruments simulator, I'm going to be using the TI-84 Plus, which may have some slightly different screen displays than your calculator, but it's really quite close. So let's first make sure what our window settings are. Click on your window. I click on mine and it looks like I've got some interesting settings of -2.5 to +2.5 as just an example. So I'm going to click Zoom Standard, so that's Zoom 6, and hit Enter, and it should give me the standard window. I'm going to click back on Window. Hopefully you follow along, and now my settings are -10, 10. So we should all be on the same page, seeing the same image for the graph when we put it in our calculator. Now we're going to load in y equals x squared minus 16, and my calculator has a little arrow that I have to prompt out of the exponent position. You may not have to do that, but let's make sure that you've loaded in the same thing I have, which is y equals x squared minus 16. Now let's talk about what we know about this function. It's a quadratic polynomial function. It's going to have the shape of a parabola that's going to open up, right? And we probably know that it has a vertical shift down of 16. So let's take a look at our graph. Hit the graph button. We're in the standard window. And we do see a parabola. You have to be careful here. It looks almost like two lines of perhaps absolute value. That's not what this function is. We know it's a parabola representing the graph of the quadratic function. So my window isn't quite doing what I need it to do. And possibly you can manually adjust your window using your knowledge. So that's one way to show it, which I'll do in a second. But let's also try another zoom key we haven't used before. How about zoom fit? Now zoom standard is the -10, 10. We know zoom in and zoom out, which we've used before. But I'm going to toggle down to where we get to zoom fit, which is actually on the next screen. And in my calculator, we'll have to see what that number is. Zoom fit looks like it is number 10 on the list. I'm going to hit Enter, and this is now going to fit the graph in the window a little differently. And it certainly looks like I have all of the parabola, but my guess is my vertex is right there at the bottom of my window. And sure enough, my y min is -16. You always want to have your minimum value in your clearly in minimum or maximum clearly in your window. So I'm going to adjust this to be the opposite of 20, and that's going to pull my graph down just, or my coordinate plane down just a little bit, and I really don't need a y max of 84, so maybe I'm going to just change that to, let's say, 20 for my y max. And now I'm going to hit my graph key again. So I'm demonstrating how to manually adjust your window to get a nice clear image of your function in your calculator. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to calculate these two special points called the x-intercepts. That's where y equals 0, and how to calculate the y-intercept where x equals 0. Let's start with the y-intercept. Now what you need to know about the y-intercept is that x is always equal to 0 by definition. In order to cross the y-axis, x has to be 0, and this is the y-intercept, just like with linear equations. So let's use the second calculate key, second button, and then calculate, which is above trace, and it's going to give you menu options. Let's calculate the value. So I'm going to select that, and I want to calculate the value when x is 0. So I'm going to enter 0, and this function will calculate the corresponding y coordinate. And sure enough, the y-intercept is 0, negative 16 for this particular graph. Not a surprise because we knew it was a 16 unit shift downward. Now let's go after the zeros, if you will, where the output y is 0 for what value of x? Now if you know how to factor this equation, you may guess that these values are 4 and negative 4. But if they're not nice integers, or you're not sure what the factorization is for your polynomial function, you can use second, calculate again, and let's find a 0. Now what you need to know here is that your calculator is actually going to do a series of calculations to hone in on this exact point, this exact intersection with the x-axis. And to do that, you're going to need to grab a left bound to the left of the point you want, a right bound to the right of the point you want, and then the calculator will ask you, do you want to guess? And you're going to say yes. So to move your cursor up here, use the sideways arrow, not the up and down arrow. This is changing your input for your x values. Now unfortunately it's moving my x value really slowly, so I'm going to try to maybe use my trace key instead. So I'm going to trace and hope that the trace function moves my cursor faster. So if you run into this problem, this may just be the demo software that's an issue, but I need to move this cursor up above the point of the intersection that I want, or to the left of the intersection that I want. So it's clearly to the left of the point that I'm trying to find. Now let's do second calculate again. Second calculate a 0. Yes, I want that to be that's asking me for my right bound. That's kind of strange. I'm going to second calculate again, because it should ask me what my left bound is. There we go. Left bound. Yes, this is the left bound I want. Then I need to toggle or trace over. Now it's moving faster. That's a good thing with this arrow. And I want to say, yes, that's my right bound, so I hit enter. Do I want to guess and calculate what the 0 is there? It calculated it for me, and x equals negative 4 is a solution or a 0 of my polynomial function because y equals 0, and it calculated that for me. We're going to do this again for this other point so that you get a chance to practice. So let's see how I moved my arrow. I actually jumped off of the graph. So let's use trace instead. I'm going to trace close to the point that I want to calculate, but I need to be the left bound. There we go. And I'm going to do second calculate again. let's calculate a 0, not a value. We need a 0, so that's option 2. Hit enter. That's my left bound. Now I have to move up above or to the right, if you will, of that intersection. I don't necessarily have to be close. I have to just have a right bookend, if you will. So I've got a left bookend and a right bookend, and I'm going to calculate by guessing, but the computer does the calculating for me, the 0. So this is an additional 0, or root of the equation, or x-intercept. They're all related, which is 4. 4, 0 is the particular 0 I'm looking for. Now I have one more skill that I'd like to show you, which is calculating a minimum value. So let's pretend this is not the y-intercept, and I want to find what this exact value is, this minimum value for my parabola. I'm going to trace over again to get to the left side of that vertex, and it looks like it's not letting me trace, so I'm going to try again. Trace to the left. So I have the cursor pretty much where I'd like it to be. Second, calculate. I want to calculate the minimum value of the function. That's option 3, minimum. Grab a left bound, and then I'm going to toggle over to find the right bound and hit calculate. And that is the local minimum is 0, -16 if you need the coordinates of a local minimum. Those are the key functions of finding a minimum. A maximum is the same way, but you would be asking it to calculate the maximum, and we found the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. I'm going to try one more function for you really quickly here. Y equals, let's say, the opposite of x raised to the 4th plus 5, let's say. Whoops, and this is all in my exponent position, which I don't want on this calculator, so I'm going to have to clear this. I'm going to start over. Y equals the opposite of x raised to the 4th, and I'm going to subtract 5. So this is actually a quartic function. I'm going to graph it, and let's see if we have a nice clean graph in the window. I'm not changing my window right now. And I see it. It looks like it doesn't have any x-intercepts, but I'm really interested in this maximum, what the local maximum is. So in order to do that, I'd like to zoom in on my graph a little bit. We'll see if zoom in once takes care of that, and it may not, but we'll see. Zoom in. I'm going to zoom in one more time. Now the quartic functions may have some interesting behavior. It looks like it's off my graph, so I'm going to need to adjust my window down. I need to go further down in the negative direction to be able to see this, and my calculator's not keeping up with my clicking. So it looks like I'm going to go, let's say I'm going to go to -15, just so I'm sure that I'm getting a nice graph here. And I'm going to try graphing again. So this is a good example of a quartic function with this sort of flattened bottom of the parabola, if you will. I'm going to do second, calculate, to find the maximum value there. So I'm going to select option 4. And then I'm going to need to grab a bound to the left a little bit, because I'm not exactly sure where the maximum is. Grab a bound, whoops, and it didn't let me grab my right bound, so I'm going to second calculate again. My maximum value, and then I'm going to toggle over to find my right bound, click enter, click guess, and here it's found that the maximum value is at 0, -5. This concludes the demonstration of the calculator skills that will help you to evaluate polynomial functions.